How's it going, everyone? It is WilsonPlays here, and today I am back with Wilson Wednesdays, week number 2. Just want to say a quick thing before I go into the video itself. Massive thank you for the response on the first Wilson Wednesdays. It's got 29 likes and over 100 views, which is absolutely incredible. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the series so far, and seeing that support is what motivates me to do this even more. While I find my feet with like videos on cameras and stuff, because obviously this is all new to me. So I'm getting there slowly. So again, thank you for your support, and also just quick little message. Obviously, with everything that's going on in the world at the moment, I hope you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, and staying happy. So, with that kind of out of the way, I'm going to jump into this week's questions. I've got them in front of me, so if I look away from the camera, it's because I'm reading them. But the next lot of questions come from David96238. My man David, I see him a lot in the live stream chats. I can't talk today. Excellent. And he asks, if you decided to leave the UK to go and live in another country, what country would you move to? Assuming that money is no object, like I have as much money as I possibly want, I would say Monaco, Monte Carlo. You know, I watch, of course, Formula 1, as you guys might know already, and obviously when you're watching it, you kind of see the atmosphere of the country and the general area. And it just looks absolutely amazing. Obviously, it's a rich person's country and you know, place to go. But for this question, I'm assuming money is no object, so I'd probably say Monaco. His second question is: if you woke up in the morning to find out that the internet and all its content was erased, what new hobbies would you start? Jesus Christ, that's a big one. Well, as you can see over that shoulder, I've got my weight bench. I'd probably just keep working out, and that would be one of them. Probably learn more about cars, like fixing them and upgrading them and tuning them and stuff. That's probably another thing I'd probably learn a bit more. I know a tiny bit about cars and like how to fix them and whatnot, but you would never call me a mechanic. If you ever had a problem with your car, don't come to me. I guess I'll pick a third one. If the internet was gone, so I'm assuming gaming's gone as well then. That's a tough question. Jesus. I'd probably just go with those two. I guess carry on watching motorsport. I mean, it says new hobbies though. I'm not sure. I can't. That's such a difficult question to ask. Wow, you've got me stopped. What about you, David, or anyone that's watching this video? What new hobbies would you start? Leave in the comments below. I'm interested to read what you guys have to say. And finally, his last question is favorite animal. Now, this, I don't know if this will come across as a shock to you guys or whatever, but I'm not a massive animal person. I'm not really an animal person at all. I have a dislike to all animals, shall we say, but obviously I'll have a favourite, so a cat, a household cat. That's probably it. If I ever had a pet, it'd probably be a cat, but at the same time, I'm not planning on having a pet anytime soon. So thank you, David, for your questions, and yeah, the next one comes from OAG, my man OAG, one of my members. Shout outs to him. Long time subscriber as well, one of my moderators as well, and he asked, have you any plans to redo some mods you've done? Frosted Winter, definitely. I've already talked about that. Eventually I'll get around to that. Probably the Chaos and Randomizer mods for San Andreas. I'll probably redo those too. Maybe even together if you guys want me to go through that nightmare, because I can already visualize it. Any other mods that I'd want to replay? Probably Underground, maybe eventually, when something worthwhile comes out for it. I'm sure there's more. I just can't think right now. But yeah, that's probably the main ones. So thank you, OAG, for your question, mate. The next lot of questions come from Ionitis, and he asks, why don't you do a face cam on your streams? Well, he's got 3 questions, but that's his first one. Simple reason is, obviously, when I'm streaming, it's obviously multiple hours, which means I've got to put in my effort and kind of put in the work from a microphone standpoint, from a voice standpoint, you know, try and stay relatively energetic and stuff like that. But it's mainly because I don't have the most comfort with, you know, talking to the camera right now. I mean, this is so new to me. Like, I don't even really send people videos or record videos that I put on Facebook or anything like that of my face, because I'm not the most confident person on camera. Will it change in the future? Possibly. I mean, maybe I might start implementing face cams into the streams, but for right now, I don't have any plans on incorporating it. I know you guys will probably want to see it, probably want me to put face cam on streams and stuff like that, but it's kind of not right now. Is the answer to that. A bit of a long-winded answer. His second question is, do you think GTA 6 will be good? I hope so, because as I keep saying quite a lot, GTA 5 is my least favourite GTA that Rockstar have done, that I've played. Like, obviously main series, I've only played Chinatown Wars, it's not in the main series, but I digress. For me, it's the least enjoyable, it's the worst one. So hopefully what they got wrong with GTA 5 they can get right in GTA 6, and hopefully other areas don't suffer as well. But yeah. The third question is, when did you start your YouTube channel? I am too lazy to look. Now, I read this question the other day, and I was just kind of thinking, in the time it took you to write that question, you could have got the answer yourself, rather than waiting a whole week for me to finally answer that question. But I guess you've asked it, so I guess I'll answer it. If you looked on YouTube, on the About section of my channel, I think it says 2013 is when I created the channel. I think, but that's kind of inaccurate, because I think it was called something else before. It was called WilsonPlays. I just didn't have any videos. My first video, though, was uploaded in 2015, so probably look at that sort of age. So the channel's 5 years old. Obviously, it's not got the content on it to be classed as like a 5-year-old channel, because obviously channels that are 5 years old could have like 2,000 videos or something like that. You know, quite a lot of videos. Obviously, mine doesn't, because I've not always been the most consistent guy. But yeah, 2015. But yeah, thank you for your questions, Dionysus. The next couple of questions come from Ian, my man Ian, long-time subscriber, probably the longest serving subscriber actually, because as I think I said in the previous video as well, he was subscribed to the channel that I had before Wilson Plays, so shout outs to him. And he asked, if you could make a new GTA game using just characters from previous titles, which characters would you pick? I think the right way to answer this question is kind of pick one character per game that from each main series game that exists now, and then say that they should be in it. So I'm going to pick one character. So from GTA 3 I would have Salvatore. Vice City is difficult because there's no interesting characters in Vice City at all, in my opinion. None that's memorable anyway. From Vice City, Rosenberg maybe, or Tommy, to be honest. As I said, there's no real interesting characters in Vice City, so it's kind of difficult to do. So either Tommy or Rosenberg from Vice City. San Andreas, I'm torn between Catalina and Maka, but I'll probably say Maka because for GTA 5 I think I would pick Trevor. And obviously, you know, 2 psychopaths would be great, but let's mix it up a little bit, so I'll say Maka. Liberty City Stories, probably Tony. Again, that game doesn't really have any interesting characters. Vice City Stories, again, similar thing. Probably Vic, protagonist. GTA 4, probably... I'm torn between Nico and Little Jacob, because I love Little Jacob. But obviously I love Nico as well. That's kind of a difficult one to choose. Because I don't want to fill the new game full of protagonists. Because then I could just say, yeah, just use any protagonist Rockstar's ever used. I'll go Little Jacob then for that. Lost and Damned, I would probably say Billy. He's a pretty funny guy in that game. Lost there. What's the game called? Battle of the Gay Tony. Probably Tony, actually. I think Tony's quite funny. He has his moments. Rocco is pretty funny as well. Notice how I'm picking all of these based on comedy. It's mad. And then obviously, as I said, GTA 5 would be Trevor. So yeah, obviously that's not enough characters to make an entire game, but there's your starting point. But thank you for that question, Ian. Your second question, is there any series that you haven't played before that you would want to play but just haven't got round to as yet? I thought about this the other day and I can't remember what I came up with. I'd probably say, yeah, Just Cause. I think that's what I said. Obviously, I played the first Just Cause on PS2 ages ago, but I didn't have any... The disc wasn't working correctly, so I didn't play a lot of it. Probably like maybe 10-15 minutes of it. But I haven't played that series. I obviously know what the series is and I've seen gameplay and stuff. And I do have a couple of them for PC. Just haven't got round to it, so hopefully you'll see Just Cause on a live stream near you soon. But anyway, thank you, Ian, for your questions, mate. The next lot of questions come from Defil. First of all, a joking question from him, the holy question. What is your opinion on Postal 2 from all the info that you know about it? It exists, I guess. It exists and you can piss on people. That's about it. I don't really have a much stronger opinion than that. But normal questions. Why did you start YouTube? What made you want to do it? I think if you're talking about the original starting point that I had, not obviously WilsonPlays, but the channels before it, I'd probably just say Syndicate, watching him. I alluded to this in the last episode, but I think him really got me into it because it just looked a lot of fun to do. And I kind of wanted to try it out myself. And yeah, since then I've been kind of hooked. I say kind of hooked. It depends which version of James you speak to. The second question, would you rather have 10 mil subs or 2k like now? I'm in two minds about this, because if you have 10 mil, obviously you get a shitload of views, shitload of likes, shitload of money. There'd be loads of opportunities for like going to events and stuff. And you know, doing some crazy things and stuff like that. But I guess the things that I would miss is like interacting with the community, because that would be really, really difficult at 10 mil. And yeah, it's not like the thing is where my channel is at the moment, which yeah, the channel's steadily growing, which is awesome. But where it is at the moment, everyone kind of knows each other and they speak to each other. And it's really, really nice. Obviously, when I go live or I read the comment section, I see familiar faces all the time. And that is like a really nice feeling. Obviously, with 10 mil, it'd be very difficult to do that. So I'm in two minds about it. I'd probably... And another point, like, if you've got 10 mil, there's a lot more pressure, I think, to perform. Obviously, there's a lot of channels out there that have millions of subs that probably shouldn't, but that's my opinion. Not going to go into that. But yeah, I hope that's answered your question. All the consoles you've had in your entire lifetime. Jesus. Okay. Dreamcast. From what this just coming from memory. There's probably more. Dreamcast. Sony. No, I nearly said Sony Mega Drive. No, Sega Mega Drive. Good one, Wilson. PS1, PS2. I skipped PS3. I didn't have one personally. There was one in the house, but I didn't have one personally. So PS4. The original Xbox, I had one of those. Xbox One, briefly. Literally, I owned it for maybe a few weeks, about a month or something like that. Literally, the only thing I did on it was the internet was down one day, and the Blu-ray drivers or player or whatever it is on PlayStation wasn't installed, so obviously I couldn't install it because I didn't have internet. So I literally used the Xbox One once to run a Blu-ray. So I don't even know if you can count that as owning a console, because I never used it to actually play a game. Let's think. Nintendo. I had a Game Boy Pocket, which is actually somewhere in this desk, actually. The desk drawer. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance SP. I had a DS Lite. What else do I have? 3DS XL. There was a Nintendo Wii, the original Wii, in the house. Again, it wasn't mine. It was a shared console. And I'd probably say that's about it in terms of consoles. I've not owned that many, and there's a few that I've not owned that most people would have owned in their lifetime. But yeah, I think that's about it from memory. Obviously then in 2012 I started PC gaming and stuff, so acquiring new consoles wasn't exactly the norm for me. But anyway, thank you so much for your question, Defil. Next question comes from Calypso23432. And he asks, would you play GTA Underground multiplayer when that comes out? Yes. I'd probably do a stream or two on it, but it kind of depends what they do with it as to whether I do more than that. Because for the reason I don't play Underground at the moment, and number one, last time I played it had a shitload of stability issues, but I haven't played any updates recently, so I don't know how that is these days. But number two, it feels like all it is a free roam mod. And I don't find that interesting at all. I mean, it's good to play like once or twice, you know, have an explore and stuff like that, but then what do you do? So that's why I haven't played Underground in quite a while. So depending on what they do with the multiplayer, if the multiplayer is just free roam only, then I'd probably play it once or twice, but then probably lose interest again. So it's like I said, it's free roam only. It's not going to convert me to play it all the time. But yeah, thank you, Calypso, for your question. Short answer to that is it's a yes. A lot of questions come from Riley, and he asks, when will the next Q&A be uploaded? Look below the video. That answers your question. I think it was a joke question, to be fair. Number two, can you show off your bedroom? I have a plan to show off my setup, but my entire bedroom, no, because there's a lot wrong with it, and I don't want people to see it. So that's a no. And number three, do you want a pint? Always, mate, always. But anyway, thank you for your questions, Riley. Next question comes from Jesse, and he asks, what is the most fun you have had played a game this year besides GTA? I can kind of translate that easily. I'm going to give you two different answers to this. Number one, I'm going to give you the YouTube answer. I'd probably say Saints Row the Third. That's been the biggest thing that I've streamed this year so far. That's not GTA. And obviously that game is amazing. It's funny, it's wacky, it's a nice change. So I'd probably say Saints Row the Third in terms of YouTube, but the outside of YouTube answer, I'd probably say getting into Assetto Corsa Competizione with Martin Vinnish. You might have seen him in the stream chat, and obviously he's responsible for a lot of the graphics that you see on the channel as well, like my overlay and stuff. I've known Martin for 6 years. Obviously met through sim racing, and it's just nice to be able to A, race with him again, and B, play Assetto Corsa Competizione, because it's an amazing game and so rewarding to drive and stuff like that. In fact, I think, yeah, you can just about see it in the shot. My wheel is there. If you've gone this long in the video wondering what this is, it's the top of my steering wheel. But yeah, thank you, Jesse, for your question. Next question comes from Drumsty, and he asks, are you going to play American Truck Simulator? On the channel, possibly. I don't know what to do with it, though, because I feel like I'd have to put it on a certain day of the week, because obviously career mode in that game is going to be long. If you're thinking about doing like a full career mode where you're taking over the map, basically, where you've got garages that are fully operational in every city. But obviously outside of YouTube, I've played that game a decent amount. I should play it more often. I'm more drawn to Euro Trucks. Obviously, it's closer to home, but American Truck's pretty great as well. The scenery is amazing as well. But yeah, thank you, Drumsty, for your question. And the last lot of questions comes from Wards, who's literally, according to this, sent it just before I started recording this. I'm using his mic, so he probably knew. So he thought he'd get some questions in. But he asks, are there any old series coming back? As I said earlier, Frosted Winter, probably. Like a replay through of that. Chaos mod, randomizer mod. I'd probably just the same answers as I would give to that I gave to OAG earlier. But yeah. And would you make a collaboration with anyone? No plans at the moment, but I'm not against the idea. Usually I do things solo. So that's kind of how I prefer. You know, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with collaborations. There was supposed to be a collaboration with Lewis, aka TheGameasaurus, but we've just not had the time to record everything that we need to record, and we did do a test run of it and it didn't go too well. But yeah, collaboration is difficult because both of you've got to be available. There's obviously the element of there's a lot of elements to it, so I wouldn't say I'm against the idea to finish off the answer to that question, but I also at the moment don't really have a plan for it. But yeah, that's the questions all answered this week. This has been a longer video, and I swear there's less questions this week as well, which is absolutely awesome. But yeah, it just shows how much of a waffler I am, but I'm getting better at this, guys. I am getting better, and I've just noticed I was talking for that last few seconds to my screen rather than my camera. But awesome. Yeah, I digress. Yeah, comment section of this video, post your questions for next week, and if you haven't enjoyed the video, please leave a like. As I said and showed you, I got 29 likes on part 1. Obviously, if I click the like button, it'd be 30, but I don't tend to do that too often. But yeah, let's see if we can get 30 likes on this. I think we can, because the channel's steadily grown since doing part 1. So I think 30 likes is possible. So let's see if let's get there, guys. Come on, I want to see it. And also get subscribed if you are enjoying my content, whether it be the streams or this sort of content and stuff. And any feedback as well. Obviously, I'm kind of new to cameras and stuff like that. So any feedback on like quality settings or anything like that would be much appreciated. But yeah, I've waffled on way too much this video. I genuinely. So thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.